This episode is brought to you by Whitaker Garage Doors, your one-stop shop for all things garage doors, proudly based in Peekskill, New York. Your home is a direct reflection of your personal style, and let's face it, your garage doors are the first thing people see when they pull up your driveway. Whether you're looking for the timeless charm of a classic carriage house door or the clean, sleek look of a basic wood finish, Whitaker Garage Doors offers traditional options for every taste and budget. I can personally vouch for their incredible service. When I had my own garage doors done, I was blown away by their timeliness, professionalism, and overall respect for their clients. Jonathan, Cassara, and their entire team are top-notch, and they really go the extra mile to ensure you're happy with the final result. So if you're in the market for a new garage door or need some repairs, give them a call or find them on Instagram at Whitaker_doors. Don't forget to tell them you're a friend of Dave's over at the No Snooze podcast. Whitaker Doors. You won't regret it. Now, back to the epi. Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? I welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. I am Dave Regina, and this is the No Snooze podcast. Come on. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 258. As always, I'm in the booth with my big brother, Claudio the Voice, Valenzuela. Let's get it, baby. And I am Dave, the Body, Regina. Listen, it's still cold out here in New York, and we just want to say thank you guys for coming back and listening to either your first episode. Welcome. If it's your very first time, we are the No Snooze Podcast, which is essentially a call to action to not snooze on your life, to wake up and attack everything that you do. Because we believe every day is a new opportunity, and we hope that you have the same mindset, and I believe that you do if you are here. CV, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing fantastic, man.
Yeah?
I love when the sun is out. The snowbanks are still high.
The sun and the snow,
It's
baby.
not really melting away.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you know what I was thinking about as
What's
you were
up?
just saying what you just said? Can you imagine being somebody that finds this episode that we're recording right now for the very first time, and it's your very first episode, so this
Yeah.
is brand flat,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
brand new, and you hear it for the first time, and you dig it, and then you start going down the, I don't know if everyone does this. I know I do. When I like something,
Yep.
you see the one that you like, then you kind of go backwards, and you try to find another one, and then you try to go, and if you really dig it, you're going like all the way to the beginning,
Oh,
and
it's
kind of,
crazy.
can you imagine somebody going all the way to the beginning to see like how it started?
Yeah, well, it's happening because there was an individual that reached out on Instagram and was basically referencing something and made a comment that I didn't even know what he was talking about. And I said, yo, man, I'm so sorry. Like,
From something you said?
I say a lot of things, and I said it, listen, I say a lot of things, give me some context. And I said, to be honest with you, there's times I've even like contradicted myself. So like, please enlighten me. He's like, oh, well, I'm on episode 25. I said,
Wow.
25? I like, we on 255.
Do you remember what that was?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So he sent it to me, but it was pretty cool because to your point, people are able to go back and figure out what they like, what they connect with, and really when they find us. But I was a completely different, for my life
Well, the
specifically,
journey.
completely different time in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think all of us, we.
Oh, yeah,
and,
dude.
and back then we were three.
Yeah,
and it was, just that in itself is
Yeah,
a
it's
change because
crazy.
that's not, that's not it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how we start, like if you even like, and I've done this before, like you kind of binge out, like watching from the beginning.
Yep.
And if you just look at the progression, because if you remember, we started this we started in 2019 that never got aired.
Yeah.
But then the 2020s, that's when we started like episode 1 and kind of went on.
And then COVID.
But then COVID hit.
That's crazy.
And
We're in
then-
the parks.
Yes, that's. I don't know. I think those were cool ass episodes, man.
It is cool.
Like just like from a visual perspective, you're outside. And,
You were doing your thing.
know,
That was one thing
I don't
about
even know.
That was one thing about Claudio though. Like we tried to we did virtuals, right?
Yeah,
we did virtuals,
we
but then when
did
things
like
got
that.
like a little bit, I guess, the whole world was still shut down. But then we went to like local parks in White Plains, and like Mike and I are sitting 6 feet away from each other. We wouldn't dap each other up. Claudio would set the microphone, spray them. It was so funny. And the fact that you were able to like adapt through that time, man, people don't understand the journey. And the most ironic thing, especially if you're hearing this for the first time, I'll take you back. I was trying to convince Claudio to basically do what he's doing now. And he was like, bro, like, no. I'm a photographer. And I'm like, no, that's the point, man. You're a photographer and this is a camera. I mean, there's a video part and there's a camera part. He's like, no, man, that's not how it works. I shoot events for photography. I shoot weddings. I do dance, sweet 16s and events for people. And I'm like, dude, it's the same thing. And literally, I think I just convinced him to a point that he was like, yo, I got to get this dude away from me. Like, he's too persistent. I got to say yes. Hopefully, like, we'll do it for a little bit and then I'll die out. And now my brother is here running an entire business. And for anybody who is in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, we have a beautiful studio located in Stamford, Connecticut. And Kai Visions literally has been my one-stop shop for podcasting. And I've been very blessed. We've been blessed now to be featured as a top 10% podcast on Spotify. And we've had multiple opportunities. I've had some networks in New York City, we'll leave you nameless, that have reached out and said, hey, look, I want you to move your podcast over to here. And I apologize, but I'm not doing it unless my brother's coming with me. So I just want to be very clear about that.
Let's go.
Let's get it, baby.
Let's go.
So some housekeeping things. Man, I had a pretty cool opportunity, which was a full circle moment for me yesterday.
Don't tell me it's Celsius.
No.
I was excited.
No.
I want some Celsius.
Full circle moment. I used to work for the Parks and Recreation Department in Westchester County, one of the largest county departments. And last year, I had an opportunity. Commissioner Kathy O'Connor brought me in to basically run a session for, I think it was like 80 or 90 of their employees in a breakout room. And the feedback was so good last year that on the evaluations, those like 80 people that were in the room, there had to be at least 5 of them that like actually wrote, bring Dave Regina back to keynote in 2026. So I had the opportunity to keynote at the Westchester County Center. And it was funny because I'm standing on the very stage that I used to stand on when I was 15 years old, chasing 7, 8, and 9-year-olds with a basketball at Slam Dunk Basketball Camp. And here I am, speaking positivity, encouragement, and empowerment into
That's cool, man. That's
Westchester
really cool.
County government employees. So that was a cool moment.
How many people were there? Because Westchester County is pretty big.
Yeah, well, so it's just their department. So it's about 400 of them.
Oh, just 400. That's it.
Well,
my bad.
It's a great size. But, the good thing about the Parks Department, man, and in local government, you get all walks of life, man. You get people. The one thing that was actually very interesting, I could have used it yesterday, man. I had about 4 people.
My invitation got lost in the mail.
I had about 4 people that came up to me that wished that I had a translator. And I was like, wow, man, this is actually something that I need to look into. And with technology and stuff these days, there's got to be something that, like, in the audience, you're able to, translate.
Well, for an audience, it may be a little bit harder, but there is a Google Translate, so that's kind of the more immediate
So
one.
what would they? And
but
they actually
you can have Claudio translate. He can be there. He can translate.
That's what I'm saying.
In Spanish.
So they actually had somebody. They must have somebody that's deaf on their staff because they had a sign language translator
that's cool
that translated the whole thing for me, which was awesome. She sat right there and kind of did her thing. But I felt really bad, man. And these 3 guys specifically came up to me and they ended up buying books. And I was so grateful that they bought the book. And they basically like typed out to me like, I speak Spanish. My English no good. And I'm like, yo, man, your English is good. Like, you're talking to me.
Well, they were there. That's
and they said
it
it wasn't their English to me. It's my English to them and them comprehending it in Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're able to communicate with me. But when I'm giving them a positive message, it was hard for them to understand it. And that opened me up to something completely different. I would have never thought, especially in the Westchester County government. Yeah. These guys are full-time employees. And they just hard workers, and I guess English is their second language. But it was something that I would definitely have to be mindful of moving forward.
Fun fact, Dave Regina, English is my second language.
I know that. I know that, man.
But no, that is cool. That's very cool. Well, I'll tell you this, right? At the very least, well, now they have your book, and half the battle when it comes to language is my opinion. And it is one, yes, learning a little bit. You have to learn a little bit. Reading is great. So them having your book and them being able to read through that and kind of translate and whatever, that's going to get their vocabulary up. But it's just immersing yourself in things. Like putting yourself in those super uncomfortable and maybe embarrassing moments of like me talking to somebody that I don't speak the same language, and trying and shooting it out. I always tell people, like, if you're learning Spanish, do the Spanglish. Because people will be like, oh, don't do this. The Spanglish is not correct. Right, it's not correct. But if you don't know anything, and the best way that you can do it is by throwing in Spanish words here and there, you're slowly going to up your vocabulary, and then it becomes a you thing. Then you will improve your vocabulary and then become more fluent, you know? But that's good. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
You know?
No, it was
reaching my peeps.
pretty.
Appreciate
It was a pretty cool.
My community thanks you.
One of my goals in 2026 is memorizing a Bible verse, right? So this week is actually week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. Week 5. And this is a very, very personal one to me. And it's from the book of Proverbs. And it says, like a city whose walls are broken through. Ooh.
Uh-oh. You better do your little, we're from the city of.
Yes. Like I said, this is good, though, because it's helping me memorize. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. So basically what it's saying is a person without discipline is like a city with broken down walls. That's what essentially it's saying. And if you go back in the day, right? Like now think of this biblically. Back in the day, cities protected themselves from warfare by the walls that they built. So basically, if we're out here without self-control, without discipline, we're like a city with broken down walls. So anybody can just come in and attack you. I like that.
That's pretty deep.
That's fire, bro. But see,
it's so deep I don't like it.
It's the verbiage of it. Like, why couldn't they just say, like, yo, if you don't have discipline, you're like a city with broken down walls? Like, why does it have to be?
I'm pretty sure back in those days, discipline was not a word.
I know. But yeah, so that's been really cool for me because, you know, my goal here is to get closer to God, right? But also begin to what's called meditating on God's word. And the more that I am feeding my brain with these small verses, what's intentionally happening now is my thoughts are actually geared towards the Bible. For example, yesterday I felt really nervous, right? It was a super normal feeling for me, something that I'm like kind of okay with. I used to think like, oh, no, I'm not nervous. No, I'm very nervous when I get up to speak. That doesn't mean that I'm not prepared, right? But I went back and I said, okay, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid and do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So I'm now able, and that was only I think that was week 1.
Oh, that was the verse on week 1.
Yeah, so that was like week 1, right? But I find myself, I'm in that moment, and I'm like, okay, I could be nervous, but God is telling me, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, right? Like that was empowering to me, and it helped me get through.
You know what I've always found impressive in, you know, people that hold the good book close to them is their ability to, in their mind, like a Rolodex, like what you just did right now, is say, I have this situation. Let me, this is a perfect for this moment.
Yep.
And it, like, you know, it coincides.
I think you're missing the point, though. This is exactly what I'm saying. This is why I want to.
I'm missing it? I thought I just hit it.
No. But I think you're missing why it's not the, yes, the work of the Rolodex of me memorizing it, but what's happening is you're meditating on God's word, and God tells you in the Bible, right? If you are supposed to meditate on the word, and when you do that, you get that Rolodex, because that is not like a skill anymore. God is telling you, if I'm in you, I'm gonna allow you to pull that out when you need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess talking from the tangible world.
Yeah,
I guess visualizing it, how I would visualize it.
I used to think it was crazy too. I used to think to myself, like, how many times you got to read this Bible to memorize all these verses?
Well, memorizing, and they always say this about like even studying, right? When you memorize things, it goes into like your short-term memory. So you cram, you get it through the test, and a week later you probably forgot.
Right.
You're not doing that. You're letting it basically soak in and live inside of you. So,
but also what I'm doing is I'm being intentional. I mean, there's 2,000 pages in this thing. I'm being intentional about what I'm choosing because it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'm not just pulling random facts from the Bible. I'm gearing it based on leadership and things that like apply to my life, right? Because if I was just memorizing random things, I don't think it would be as efficient and effective. And it's cool. I told you last episode, like Callie is like involved in it, and Katie, and we walk around the house like, kind of memorizing our Bible verse and seeing who gets it. Yeah, so it's been a pretty cool thing.
I have a quick 2-part question.
Okay,
it's maybe a little bit funny. I don't know. You'll see how you take it. I wonder once you've gone through all of the things that resonate with you, will you move on to other parts of the Bible that don't resonate with you as much?
Mm-hmm.
That's question number one. And number two is, how many are there? Because maybe this is not even a question that can be answered.
Yeah, dude, I don't think I can ever run out, to be honest.
That many?
Yeah, there's that many. Because in one book, depending on the book, right? And we're not talking about the Bible being the book, but you're talking about like the book of Proverbs. Like these books range from 15 minutes of reading time all the way to an hour and 45 minutes of reading time.
Straight through the whole book.
Yeah, that one book in the Bible. And you also have the Old Testament and then the New Testament. And then you have different translations of the Bible. But also what I am seeing, and this is something I've been reading a lot about too, not in the Bible, but reading text about the Bible and how people utilize it to get better in their lives. When you begin to read the Bible, and I'm specifically choosing things that I like to read, God is opening my own like understanding to other things that I would never be interested in. It's very odd. And that's why they say like, you just have to pick it up. And like a lot of people, you hear a lot of like jail stories, right? People who go to jail and then they come out and they like memorize the whole Bible and their life is completely changed just through that one little pocket-sized Bible. That book holds like the wisdom and the keys to everything in life. I almost feel as I'm reading this thing, I'm like, why did we go to school? I'm serious. Like, why do we do anything else? It's that good if you're able to apply it to your own life. Now, the only thing that I find challenging, I guess, in the Bible, specifically like for men these days, right? Like lust is very real. Like, I don't know if Jesus was out here with Instagram and like seeing all these things and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Paul and Peter were, dealing with these group chats that are, crazy and all these distractions and things like that.
Or the BBLs and
like
those in the Bible.
No, I don't know, man. Like Dykeman didn't really exist in the biblical days. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Jesus, I think it was a different way of living back then because technology wasn't what it was today. I would be very interested, like, if there was a new Bible, like when Jesus comes back, because that's the book of Revelation, the final book.
What would you write?
Yeah, like, is he going to come back and be like, yo, I was scrolling on the gram and like, this is the way that like you got to, I think about this stuff, bro. I really do, because if we're able to take what he wrote back then, what not Jesus wrote, but what they wrote back then, and it's still applicable today. Imagine if he really comes back and ties this to like the everyday life. Like this would be a crazy Bible. I would read it. Would you? No? This would be wild.
Where's this podcast going?
I know. I'm telling you, man. Couple just housekeeping things. April 25th, 2026, Westchester County Center. Sean Degnan, Action Cultivates Excellence, and myself, we're hosting Health is Wealth, the county's first and largest wellness expo, where everything financial health, mental health, physical health comes together under one roof. We got breakout speakers. We have keynote addresses coming from the guys at Earn Your Leisure. We've got Gerard Adams. We've got Francesca Sipma. We've got Wayne Francis coming to open up. We have Sabby Piscatelli. We have Jacob Zemer. We have Andrea Delamura from the Drip Bar. We have Melissa Pulcini Butine.
Yeah, Pulcini.
Yeah, from Elevate Med Spa coming. We have a bunch more speakers and breakouts to be announced, but there's going to be a vendor marketplace with 40 to 50 local businesses, which is going to be super dope. So just a full day of wellness. My boy Kai Visions is going to be in the building, and I think we're trying to convince him to run some interview-esque style questions for people, and then you can connect with him and get your little content going for the day. Maybe we'll have a nice little backdrop for you, a balloon arch or something like that. CV,
a balloon arch.
Right? So you want to make it Instagrammable, right? Everything's got to be Instagrammable these days. But yeah, we're gonna put you in a nice VIP section.
Yes, awesome.
All right. So that's coming, and yeah, baby, we're gonna get into this. The feedback from these questions, man, we're doing a Q&A today, has been tremendous. The value of what people are getting, and actually, let's do a live one here. Okay,
true.
So she said, this is from Millie, who has been super supportive. I've never met Millie, but she's pretty local. She's in the Connecticut area, and she's been super supportive of the podcast. And she just basically wrote in, she said, 1,000%. I prefer the Q&As and get so much more out of them. I skip a lot of the interviews, to be honest.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Shout out to Millie.
Yeah, shout out to Millie. Certainly appreciate you and everybody who's, really finding value in this stuff and then taking the time to let us know. So, I know people are getting to know your voice as well.
Let's go.
So they should be familiar, baby. But these questions are specifically coming from yesterday's keynote. So yesterday I delivered that keynote and I opened up for a Q&A, and these questions are from yesterday.
Awesome.
But before we do that, shout out. Listen, we're getting into our Q&As by the one and only Celsius. So this is watermelon. I gotta start bringing you one.
I think they're all good, man. I love them.
See, I'm at the point now, I almost might be addicted. You know when you like that first sip feeling that they talk about at Starbucks?
Yeah.
You get that first sip and you're like,
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, by the way, so
Shout
before
out to
we go into the
Celsius.
questions,
Yep.
food for thought. Think about it. Don't answer right away. It would be pretty cool if every now and then you put like a little like a little quote or a little question that somebody hit you. Like today you did it, and you shout out the person.
Yes.
Like, maybe even with their handle and everything. Just a little love back to the
I like that.
to the fans. Like
I like that. The only thing is certain people have, and so if you remember when we first started doing Questies, we would pull the names.
Yeah.
I got a little bit attacked.
Well, hold on. Two different things.
Maybe a comment,
like a good comment, not the question. Sometimes the questions may be very personal to them.
Right.
So I get that part.
Yeah.
But if it's like, Millie loves our show
Showing
and she
us
does
love.
this and that, and shout out to Millie. You can find her at Millie, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Something like that.
I like that.
A little give back to the fans and let them,
Okay.
let them rock out.
Should we go tell people to follow Millie?
Yeah. Why not? If you're on it.
Yeah, here we go. Go follow Millie. MIL_LEIGH 33. So it's Millie 33 on IG.
I'll put that on the screen too.
There you go,
Let's
bro.
go, Millie.
For the past 5 years, I've trusted Kai Vision Studio with my podcast. And every time, Claudio delivers an exceptional experience. The setup here is flawless. Professional lighting, crystal clear audio, and a custom set that makes every episode look elite. As someone who speaks on leadership, I know how important it is to show up with clarity and confidence. This studio allows me to do just that. The quality here isn't just about the equipment, it's about the environment. Claudio has created a space where I can focus on my message, knowing the production will be sharp, engaging, and professional. In a world flooded with content, standing out matters. And having a studio like this gives me the edge to produce videos and podcasts that truly connect with my audience. If you're serious about creating high-quality content, I can't recommend Kai Visions enough. Claudio makes you feel at home, yet delivers at the highest level. 5 years in, I'm not going anywhere else.
Okay. Question number one. Oh, here we go. We're starting off with a bang.
Oh, bang.
You mentioned you used to party a lot. What's the most you've spent in a night?
Yeah. So, believe me, so this is the funniest part about this, right? Context here. So this gentleman helps me bring all my books into the county center yesterday. He was one of the foremen, I guess, at the county center. And I meet him. He's got dope dreads. His name is Trey. And, I'm talking to Trey, show him love. He didn't know that I was actually keynoting. Like, at first he thought I was like a vendor, I guess. So he helps me in. And I'm like, we're just chopping it up regular. So I know who he is now at this point. I give my whole keynote, which is like all encouraging, empowering, 3 steps to like, finding your passion, your fulfillment, all this. We do the Q&A. Trey raises his hand. He says, yo, bro, like, you used to party a lot. Like, I caught that in your story. Like, yo, how much you spent in the club, bro? What's the most? I was like, yo, Trey. Trey, that's the best question ever. The answer is even better. And shout out to my brother, Kevin Pierre Lewis and Nate Collins, because back in 2017, we hadn't seen each other in some years, and we linked back up in Miami, and we ran through Miami. We were at Club Story, right in the heart of downtown Miami, and we spent $30,000 in the club, my brother. And these guys were specifically Kev was in the NFL at the time, and there was one point, they kept running his credit card because when you're ordering that many bottles, they basically keep charging your card just to make sure you're not like Fugazi out here. But it was really dope because we at first Kev was trying to keep it humble and we're like, yo, let's just go get a bottle. And they were like, all right, like there's your table, like all the way up there. Kev was like, nah, man, we can't do that. How much is that table down there? So we go down on the floor right in front of the DJ booth. It comes with a 7-foot bouncer because this is where they put all their like celebrities and stuff. Yeah. Now they start coming out with the Seattle Seahawks helmet for Kev. Like Kev's really feeling himself now. They're running that credit card, swing, swing. And then I guess at one point it gets declined. Because the bank is like, yo, my boy doesn't spend this much money. What's going on? Yeah. He's like, yo, Dave, you mind just like signing the tip real quick? Like, take that one. It was like a $1,100 tip. I'm like, yo, guys, come on, chip in for this. Chip in for this. I got this money. Like, it was hilarious, bro. But literally one of the best nights of my life. I mean, Ace of Spades and Hennessy and a wild night. So those times are fun to look back on. But the majority of my party years, man, were really just done in like locally in New York, you know what I mean? So we never like really spent crazy money like that, but that was certainly a time to remember. So shout out to Trey for the great question.
A notable one.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 2. With everything you have going on now, what is your daily struggle for you?
This was a great question. And actually one of my friends and mentors who I acknowledged not only at the conference, but also in my book, Kevin Cook asked me this question. And it was a great question because, you know, a lot of people see what's going on and, you know, it looks really, really good. But the truth is I have multiple battles, you know, and I think what I've shared so far on the podcast, so I don't want to be redundant, I'll add something new. But what I shared yesterday was really about my level of patience and presence, right? And specifically for the ones that I love the most. You know, those are the ones like, you know, you're talking about Katie and Callie that sometimes deal with my level of irritability at the end of a long night and trying to find that balance between handling all this stuff because you feel so accomplished of all the things you've done. However, your family doesn't have anything to do with that. So my family might only see me for the first time when I pick up Callie from school. So she doesn't know about the long day. Katie's only seeing me when she walks in the door at 7:30. So I'm struggling with the capacity to show up fully the way that I want to and the way that I would like first thing in the morning, later at night. And I think it's a very normal thing, but it's certainly challenging because you don't want to come off as like negative Nancy to your, you know, to those that are closest to you. And not by any means. We always regroup when we pray together, you know, over dinner, but I've certainly been seeing that's a challenge of mine.
I have a question. We're gonna test your Rolodex.
My Rolodex.
Yes. Hopefully you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What does the good book say about patience? Because I think, like you're saying, patience is hard. It's really hard. Mm-hmm. And you know, sometimes it's better than others. And to your point, sometimes you're having a full long day of work, whatever work means to you. So you're just tired. It weighs on you, and you come home, and then your loved ones have not been privy to all that. They also had a full day as well. Mm-hmm. So sometimes, you know, in the comfort of our sanctity, sometimes we can get a little bit kind of impatient.
Yeah.
What does a good book say about patience and how to mitigate patience?
So, I mean, I'm sure it says a whole lot, but from what I understand is patience is a virtue, right? So patience is one of the things that so Jesus was loving, he was kind, and he was patient. That's the way Jesus lived, right? And if there was one specific word, it would be love, not patience, but love. But encompassing love, I believe, includes patience. And we are so distracted by everything that's going on that we lose sight of what love truly means. I mean, literally back in that time, somebody could have punched Jesus in the face and he would have looked them in the eyes and said, I forgive you, and not given any level of like antagonizing approach or anything else to it. And he would lead with patience and love. Now, we don't do that because our life is crazy chaotic, but I think that's why we need the Bible to regroup and recenter and refocus us on making us understand how to not even how to be patient, but think about how hard that is, right? Like you've just gone through your entire day, dude. You just recorded 7 podcasts on the day. And then you're driving in your car and somebody cuts you off. And on podcast number 4, somebody basically said something to you that was out of line. And then when you're walking down the stairs, you trip. And now all these things are stacking over time. And now you walk into your house and you see your beautiful wife and she's so excited to give you a hug and you're just moping because you just had a tough day. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, right? But now what I'm hoping to get from the Bible is the wisdom and the strength to be able to compartmentalize all of this stuff and basically understand that it is such a blessing to walk in that door every night. And now, God, give me the wisdom, give me the strength, give me the patience to move with kindness and not have the day affect me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, bro, it's the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Super hard.
And I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, not to be, I hope there's no hatred coming my way after this comment, but, I mean, the times have changed. I mean, I use different words.
That's what I'm saying.
Times have changed. The days today are very different than they were
Absolutely
2,000 years ago.
100%.
So I don't know. I mean,
you're like, it sounds good. I don't really know.
I mean, it does sound good. I want to lead that way too.
I can tell you this. So you just said lead that way. Did I tell you about the three breath check that I did moving into the middle lane? So some dude cut me off, and I was pissed off, bro. I'm from New York. Like, you don't cut me off, bro. Like, I'm now going to tailgate you. I'm in the mirror like, what's up, boy? Like, you don't want this smoke? You know what I'm saying? So literally, I remembered Sean Degnan.
I've mastered that, by the way.
Yeah, I remembered him. And the 3 breath check that we always do at our Ace dinners.
Yeah. We
So
did
I
it here
did
on an episode.
Right. So I did it, but I didn't close my eyes because I was on the highway. So I do it, and I said, Dave Regina, leading with patience. Now, in that moment, and this is what I was talking about yesterday in my keynote, just because you breathe doesn't mean that your problems are going to go away. So don't think that that's what I'm saying by any means. But the spark of checking my ego came into play. Am I going to say that out loud and then continue to tailgate this guy because I'm feeling like I want to tailgate it? Or am I actually going to lead with patience and move to the middle lane? And I moved my ass to the middle lane. And I was pissed for about 2 more minutes, but I did it. And I was happy about it. So I was like, that's a way I can, start to apply this type of stuff. And that's why that 3 breath check and being able to like just take 3 deep breaths and you say one word, leading with, boom. And my word was actually patience on that.
On that thing?
On that scenario.
I'm going to tell you a quick little story, really quick.
Yep.
You're going to laugh probably because this is going to resonate with my behaviors, even with you and just through what you know of me. So I've gotten to the point where I've mastered being on the road, somebody doing something stupid, and me no longer jumping into that mode of, I want to go get you too. I'm going to go show you that we're New Yorkers too. I got you.
Well, you're over 40 years old. So.
It could be an age thing.
You got wisdom.
But this is, no, I don't. Because I'm going to tell you why. Why is it that I can do it there?
Yeah.
But then when I move it to a different scenario that is not that one, I completely lose it.
Right.
I don't understand. Why is it if I can do it here, why can't I do it across the board? And this is something we've talked about. I can like discipline. I can have discipline in certain areas of my life, and then in others.
Right.
Why?
Well, I believe it's the consequence, right? Like I think you understand being in a vehicle, right? Like you have the understanding of like, and I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but I have, where I've tailgated somebody and they jam on the brakes and it literally humbles you because now you're going to smash into them. And like moments like that, you're like, whoa, it's not that deep. Like, let me just stop. Whereas if somebody's pissing you off and you're not really, and you're going back and forth verbally, what's the real worst that can happen in that moment? Like, I think that scenarios are much different. You're driving in a car, you could potentially die from freaking out, right? Like things can go south really quickly. Whereas in that other scenario, I feel like it's a little bit more loose. But you already have in that camera, I already have the tools necessary because the majority of us are doing this in at least one part of our lives, right? And this piece brings me to like my therapy days when I first started, and, my therapist gave me the analogy of working hard in the gym. And he's like, yo, if I tell you to do 10 repetitions, you could do that, right? I said, absolutely. I'm going to do 11. He said, perfect. You have the formula to be successful. And I was like, well, how does that correlate to my relationship at the time? Because I was very impatient in my relationship. He said, okay, when that individual says something that really pisses you off, you're going to be quiet in that moment, and you're going to apply the same level of discipline from you going to 10 to 11 repetitions in the gym, and you're going to be quiet for 2 minutes, and you're going to respond with kindness. And that for me was a big trigger. And I was like, oh my God, I already have the tools in one aspect of my life. I just need to force myself to apply it. Keyword, force yourself. It's not going to be easy. And that's where I think people get twisted too. You're like, well, why isn't this easy for me? It's not supposed to be easy, dude. Why would it be easy? That person's pissing you off. You have every right to go back and forth with them. But when you truly want alignment in your life, you have to be able to identify moments like that.
That was good.
Easier said than done, though.
No, yeah, but that's a good one. I like that.
Well, you bother me specifically. Like, you're the biggest bully when it comes to business in a good way. You know, like you work harder. You work harder than anybody I know. But then when it comes to doing certain things and taking care of yourself for 60 straight days, if you walking for 2 miles, I'm looking right at you in the camera, CV. You walking 2 miles a day, like you'll not do that part, but you'll still show up to work and be a bull. You have the tools already.
To the viewers, I'm really sorry you had to experience that. We may cut this out, I'm not sure, but if it doesn't, I just want to say I'm sorry. Next question. What is one thing you did to build trust with your team in government?
Great question. So this was specific to a scenario that I just went through. Well, I'll take you back. 7 years ago, when I first became deputy commissioner, I had an individual walk into my office, and she was visibly upset, and she sits down, and I said, what's wrong? She starts crying, and she said, a close family member just died of mine. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, anything you need, you let me know. I said, but can I ask you a question? How long has that person been sick? Trying to stir up the conversation. She said, 11 months. I said, oh my God, why didn't you let me know? Because I feel like I could have offered some more support. I could have given you some days off if you need. Like, I could have been understanding. She said, can I be honest with you? I said, absolutely. And she looked me dead in the face, and she said, I didn't think you cared because you're only about your business. And that moment for me as a leader, I felt terrible. I felt like I was letting my team members down. I felt like I didn't know how to truly lead people. And I realized that business wasn't the most important thing. The person actually helping you in the business is, and that relationships are so important. So I started to read things, and I was listening to this one podcast with Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks, and somebody posed a question and said, hey, you've built such a great culture in Starbucks. Give me like one needle mover that you've done to develop trust in your team. And he said, oh, hands down, it's these one-on-one meetings. And I meet with my team members once a month for 15 minutes. So I went back to my drawing board and I said, okay, I got 25 full-time supervisors. They have teams under them. So I would only be responsible for those 25. 15 minutes to me is too short, but I think I could do 30. And now in those 30 minutes, I created a framework. And the first question was based off of that first interaction that I had because I needed to change. And the first question is, how are you doing personally? And now the first couple months that you do that, it's very short. Oh, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm good. Like, let's move to the next question. No problem. The second question is, what worked really well this month and what can be improved? Now, that's my opportunity to provide a level of kudos for the things they did well, and also me to provide some level of coaching and leadership for them. It's also their opportunity to hold themselves accountable and say, yo, this worked really well this month, and then this didn't work well. So it opens the door for the professional conversation. So we handled the personal, we handled the professional. And then question number 3 for me may be my most important question that I ask. And I say, as your leader, what can I do for you to make your job a little bit easier this month? Is it resources? Is it time adjustments? Like, what do you need to be more successful in your job? And me beginning to host those meetings over year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, it has done more than I could have ever imagined in terms of building trust amongst my team members. We still disagree on things. We still kind of get into it at times when we disagree, that's fine. But the level of trust, it's almost like a true family. You know how you fight with your family, but at the end of the day, it's always going to be your family. And that's exactly what happened in the workplace for me. So much to the point, I even referenced it on I think on a previous episode. I'm in my office just a couple weeks ago, and one of my staff members come in and they're visibly crying. And she had just got off the phone with her best friend who was 46 years old, had an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old, and was just given 3 weeks to live. And I was the very first person that she told because she felt that comfortable. So for me, thinking about that situation 7 years ago with almost the identical type of situation, being basically the last person to know and not knowing that her family member was sick for 11 months was crazy. But now fast forward, I'm the first person that another individual is telling me that their best friend is dying. So I would say, to answer that question, it's finding ways to meet with your team members one-on-one.
I like it. I don't know if do I want to chime in? I don't know.
Do I want to chime in?
Do I want to chime in? I don't know. That's good. That's good.
What are you pondering over there?
I don't know. It's probably nothing good. It's going to stir the pot, though, I think. I don't know.
Big ponder.
The big ponder. I mean, I've seen it, so I think it's. I agree with you. It's a good thing.
Go ahead.
I know. I'm like, I have a whole bunch of different thoughts on, and I was going to be selfish for a hot minute when it comes to like having your team like at work, and you know, I worked a long time with a team that sometimes you bring in and sometimes you don't bring in. Sometimes you just inherit them or whatever.
Yes. And
it's not always easy when you inherit. When you build your team, it's all you. You are fully responsible for the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, because you've kind of done it. When you inherit it, it's a little bit tougher because you're kind of you're needing to make the best of a situation and really cultivate that culture of like, it's not that I inherited, it's this is the team. This is you're part of the family. And it doesn't always work that way. That's why I'm like debating like wanting to put it out there or not. Like how do you get to that place of trust when trust is not even on the table? It's just like conflict, and it's just not a good team
it's not
member.
welcoming. It's not welcoming.
It's not a good fit, you know?
I mean, I would, again, to challenge it back, I would say that it is possible through consistency to break that barrier. But I think those meetings at first, especially with individuals on my end, right? I have a lot of individuals that like I've inherited over the years. You know that. And they have different mindsets, different work ethic. And I think if I'm talking to you specifically or anybody like Claudio, Claudio leads by the front. He leads from the front. He is a dog. He will get down and dirty in everything that he does. He's not one of these guys that are going to sit and tell you to do things. But also, if you're a guy like Claudio or a female like Claudio's expectation of you is going to be very high, right? And that's where I think people like you find yourself in trouble, because if I'm you, almost selfishly, you have to understand that somebody is not going to work as hard as you are. And that part is hard to swallow, because you almost have to, and not in a negative way, you have to drop your level of expectations for these individuals. Now, with individuals like we're talking about, I have what's called deliverables. We were talking about it before. I give very specific, measurable things that you need to do to make sure that you're moving the needle forward, because I need to see your level of accountability on the other side of things. So when there's no trust involved, the measurables need to be there, right? And now I think we do ourselves a disservice as leaders by not placing those specific things and those specific tasks that need to be done. But now if I'm going to give you 3 tasks to do for the month, I better also offer you the opportunity to tell me what I can do for you to make your job a little bit easier. When you open that up a little bit more and you extend it over a period of time, I do believe that relationships can change. All relationships are never going to be perfect, and there's always going to be that level of tension in some work relationships. But at the end of the day, I think with those people, like we spoke about last episode, you got to have like a box for them and guidelines. And then the respect factor has to be there, that like, look, I'm going to respect you, but you're going to respect me, because at the end of the day, I am your boss, you know?
This is like the personal therapy session I never asked for.
Shout out to Boundless Nutrition, because if you're serious about your health, your performance, and your lifestyle, This place is a game changer. Boundless Nutrition is a hub for people who refuse to live average. We're talking ready-to-go healthy meals for busy professionals, sports performance supplements, vitamins you can trust, training gear, and the best protein shake bar around. So whether you're chasing strength, fat loss, endurance, or just trying to feel better day to day, they've got you covered. And let me say this, Amanda and the entire Boundless team are incredible, knowledgeable, welcoming, and genuinely invested in helping you win. If you're in Westchester County, New York, stop by 54 Washington Avenue in Pleasantville and experience it for yourself. You can tell them you're a friend of Dave's and find them on Instagram at Boundless Nutrition NY. Because at the end of the day, change your lifestyle, change your life. Now, back to the epic.
All right, we're gonna move on to the final.
Let's get it, baby.
The final question.
Yep.
Tough question right here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get everything done in a day? That's it.
That's it.
That's a question.
Yeah. So this is funny, man. This was actually coming up. So in the polls that I put up on Instagram, this specific question was worded 17 different times. Yo, how do you do the podcast, work in government, be a dad, pick up your daughter from school, have a girlfriend, run a leadership company? Like, how do you do all of it? And I think from the outside, it does seem like a little bit overwhelming. So then it got asked again yesterday, like, how do you manage basically everything? And this is a problem that I think I have because I've been doing this for so long. I almost put a, what's the word that I'm looking for? It almost becomes second nature to me, and I forget the actual formula that I really applied to this and the framework. So I want to try to break it down a little.
It's in your discipline. It's so secondary.
Yes.
And you're doing your 11 reps no matter what.
Sometimes it's hard to go back to a place to where like I have to articulate, but I actually did it the other day on my Instagram intentionally because this question kept coming up. But it was such a good thing. I think, I need to explain it. And essentially what I do is I break my day into three, we'll call them 3 mini days. And the first mini day is from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., right? That's my time for me to either read my Bible, listen to my podcast, hydrate, get my daughter ready for school, have my stuff ready for the day, pack the lunches, hit the gym, hit the sauna, take my cold shower, on my way to work listening to a podcast.
That's you
5
time.
to 9.
That's a you time.
That's me time.
Yeah.
So that's 5 to 9, right? Then I have my 9 to 5. And I'm just using these as like standard guidelines. I mean, maybe I get in the office at 8:30 one day, maybe I get there at 9:15. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. But then you have your 9 to 5, which is essentially my work day, right? So obviously that's me in Greenberg. If I have to step out on lunch to take a call for Action Cultivates Excellence, something like that, my 9 to 5 is basically, my business. But as I'm going through, like, even my 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., I notice in the middle of my workout, if it's 7:30, I'm like, yo, this day's almost over, baby. Like, that's how much I compartmentalize my day, right? Because now, once I actually hit, 12 o'clock, I'm like, yo, I only got another 5 hours of my day. Like, this is light work for me. And by me, like, really doing that and being intentional about that through my day and utilizing my calendar, I'm like, 5 meetings, like, this is easy. I only have 5 left. Whereas if I were to sit back and be like, oh my God, I have 5 meetings, like, it gets a little overwhelming. So I get to my 5 o'clock. Now I have my 5 to 9. Now my 5 to 9 encompasses a lot of different things these days because sometimes I'm still in Greenberg till 6 o'clock. Sometimes I'm out on time. I'm able to go pick up my daughter from school. I'm able to bring her to, she likes to go to the arcade. Then we come home. Maybe I have to take a call, which happens to me a lot. While I'm preparing dinner, I'm taking this call because don't forget, I also cook for my family 4 days a week, right? And that's not something I necessarily choose to do, but, Katie doesn't really get home till 7:30 at night from New York City, so it's like tough for her to cook. She'll cook all day long, but like I'm the one that's doing it. I got to feed my daughter too. So I'm taking these calls. I'm cooking. I'm getting Callie ready for bed. Katie comes in the door. She jumps in with Callie. Now we get to sit down. We have dinner. We pray together. And then we put Callie down. I read her, a story, and then boom, it's time for bed. So like my 5 to 9, and by 9 o'clock, listen, usually I'm ready for bed, but there's days like today, I'm not going to even get home till 11 o'clock. And those are the days that are like super challenging for me because, again, my day starts at 5 tomorrow. So that's the pocket of time I'm like, damn, like not the best sleep, not this. But I'm telling you, man, if you're able to compartmentalize and utilize that framework, build your days into like these 3 mini days, the expansion of what you can get done in a freaking day, dude, is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You ready for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I got from all of that.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's a good thing. I think you just have to like understand. This is how I understood it. Number one, those first 3 hours in the day is really where I think most people struggle because that's really you taking care of you. And that is also like you get probably the most fulfillment personally from those times because you get to do the things that you like, the things that you love, the things that make you feel good, the things that really prepare you for the rest of the day. Because the rest of the day is work, is business, you're doing other things in the family.
Can I ask you that though?
Yeah.
Ask you this on that 5 to 9. Most people get overwhelmed by that 5 to 9. Where I would challenge it.
The 5 meaning on the other end,
5 a.m.
or 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Well, I'm going to get to that.
I'm still getting my daughter ready for school. I'm still putting her on the bus. I'm still doing all the things that
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I wasn't knocking that. I'm saying like that is the time where I think most people do those things like after the day has passed.
Right.
And I'm not
taking care of themselves.
Taking care of themselves, right? Whether it's alone time, whether they want to watch TV, whether they want to just hang out, whether they got to get their kids or feed their. They usually wait till So I think the key in what you're saying is you give yourself 3 hours where no one is going to bother you because let's be serious, the world is really not up and running, especially in a household at 5 a.m. So you have a very tranquil moment to really take care of yourself. And the second part is. And it goes along with what you do.
Callie wakes up. I have to wake Callie up at 6:30.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. You got an hour and a half by yourself. Nobody's
right.
touching you.
Right.
Which is, I think you need that. You need that because you've gotten that out of the way. So now that you've taken it out of the way, you don't feel like later on. I think some people get home at the end of the day of a hard day's work, and all they want to do is just sit down, get a beer, watch TV, watch a game. It's their me time.
Well, I agree. How could you go work out? I don't know. Maybe some people have to do it, and there are those night owls. But for me, it's so hard. Like, imagine me trying to get home after all that stuff from my day and then trying to like work out. Like, I get
it. Right. You have a very regimented to your particular thing. Yeah. And the second thing is you work out, and you work out religiously. Pun on words. Mm-hmm. Religiously, it's sacred. It's your discipline. It's basically your DNA. You do not move the rest of the day if that hasn't been taken care of, which kind of goes on along to the other part, which that means that you're in good shape. So you can handle going to the 9 to 5, and then after your 5 p.m. job ends, and you have to then do your other 5 to 9. Mm-hmm. You have the stamina, you have the energy because you work out all the time. So you're in good health. So you have the stamina to, after your 9 to 5, your workday is over, to not be completely drained and exhausted because you got more in the tank. You can go to the next and continue. That's what I got out of the whole thing, which is hard because, now it's getting to that portion. How do you get to wake up at 5 a.m. and get into that routine? Because that's difficult in itself. And that's, I think, half of the battle for most people is understanding that if you want to do more in your day, you just got to give yourself 3 more hours. Give them to yourself. Right. Do things that also obviously are going to help you out. But now, and everything with you is very structured. Everything with you is very organized.
It has to be now. I mean,
right. So for you, it's like
I thought I was busy back years ago. I thought I was busy back years ago when we were talking about this mindset stuff. It's not even close to what I couldn't have even imagined how busy in quotations that I would be now. And what's crazy and scary to me, I think it's only going to get worse. But I don't know how much worse it could get. It would just be different types of things that I'm busy with.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's going to be different different things.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, but hopefully, like, there's more of a team in place to handle certain things like that. So, like, if I got to just show up, boom, you can make that happen. But all of this stuff is I mean, you got to do it. There's no other way that I would be able to do this stuff and also do it to a point to where, one, I enjoy it, I'm fulfilled by it, and now I also want to help people do the same in their lives. I think it'd be very easy and transparent for people to see right through me, like if I was not doing that type of stuff.
Are you an early person? Early morning person? I mean,
yeah,
I know we just talked
for
about,
sure,
but naturally.
Yes, yeah. So this, I believe, stemmed back when I was 13 years old. My dad had me on the golf course ready for a 6 a.m. loop caddying. You know what I mean? Like I kind of got forced into it, and I would see the difference of people between like mopey people and then like happy people. But then I really did understand that, like, yo, that's just a choice. Like, it's just a choice.
Absolutely.
Everybody could be tired because, like, dude, I get exhausted. Yeah. But at the end of the day, 170,000 didn't wake up. But you and I did, right? So, like, you have to find that ability. And, by you listening to podcasts and reading, and your thoughts become a little bit more positive. The other thing, you were talking about, like, the fuel and stuff. I have that golden rule. When I'm working, I'm healthy, bro. Like, I'm eating things that are going to fuel me. I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm not going to Wendy's. I'm not eating, like, shit. And even now it's to the point that I'm so disciplined. I think people struggle with this piece. I don't even have to meal prep. I take my ass to bagel oven. I order 4 eggs, tomato, avocado. And then if I go for lunch, I go to Chop and go. It's expensive, but I'm just saying if I don't have my meal prep. I will have a salad with steak, cucumbers, red onion, and chickpeas. And then I have like a protein bar, maybe a beef jerky stick. Like I'm eating things that are a banana. You know what I mean? Whereas people, if they don't meal prep, they like just go off the rails because you walk into Bagel Oven, you see all the goodies. You're like, yo,
I struggle.
That's
Although Bagel Oven, I would make really good choices, but OD.
Right.
Because I love the open bar. I love beets. I would be like filling my plate with eggs, tomato and mutz, and then beets.
I remember your thing.
Yeah. It's not bad. And avocado. Because they have those things relatively. It would be OD because it would be like a freaking 10-pound freaking. Maybe not that bad, but all full of like those kind of things. What would you tell a young person whom struggles with the morning thing? And I don't know if it's because they're not getting to bed early enough, if they're not getting their sleep, they're not an early person, like somebody that just struggles for whatever reason to get up in the morning. That's number one. What would you tell that person for that? And in conjunction to that, fueling their body the right way and them either not wanting to spend the money or can't spend the money to eat correctly versus not. Like, what would you tell that kid? And by the way, you know who you are. I love you.
The second part I didn't really understand. About
the eating part?
Yes. What would I tell the kid?
Yeah. Like so if they're just like, oh, again, I choose not to spend the money on that because it's cheaper to eat, as you know, other ways.
Okay.
Healthy eating, clean eating is always sometimes a little bit more expensive.
I don't think so. I disagree. I
so
think,
good. I want us to.
Yeah. So I would say this. I think, the first piece, and this goes to anybody, any age. The first part of the question on how, what was it?
Is the sleeping. How to like make yourself an early person. So you can...
Right. So I would say 2 things need to happen, right? Like you do need a level of like finding you need one good night of sleep before you start this routine. But the first thing you should do in the morning is drink water and take those AirPods and put something positive in your ear. That I truly believe over like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of you doing that, you're going to start to become that morning person because you're feeding yourself with that positivity first thing in the morning, right? And you're also pairing it with drinking your water. And I think that goes like hands down for anybody in the game. If you're not doing that and you want to be more positive in your life, drink water first thing in the morning and listen to a positive podcast.
So this is the morning routine already. You're talking
that's it. But that's it. Like I'm not getting even more difficult than that. Like just do that.
Oh, so what about at night? Does it make a difference? Like what time you go to bed at night?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I can get into the whole thing, but I think you need to be off your phone and in your bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Well, like, that's just a hit at 5 a.m.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like this doesn't have to be a 5 a.m. thing. I'm just challenging you when you like you're not going to snooze on your life, regardless of what time you wake up. I don't care if it's 5 a.m. or 7 a.m. You know what I mean? You should get adequate sleep though. Get at least 6 hours. Like that's important.
I have a personal one. This one's purely me. I actually enjoy a lot of the things that happen later on in the evening.
Wind down time,
like spending time with my wife, watching TV, and she likes to go to bed early. And it's almost like I push the envelope in wanting to watch a show together or just going a little bit later.
God bless.
My time to go to bed is usually like 11:30, and and we go to bed. I usually am out by I know, but so what would you tell somebody that like me that I do enjoy that. And I don't mind waking up early, so I do get up early. Yep. I don't get up at 5, but I get up at 7.
I was just going to say, so Katie, right, she was a night owl, bro. Night owl.
You said was?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, she was. I mean, you're talking 12, 1, 2 in the morning. Like,
Well, no, that's crazy.
No, but like she could do it. But effective though. Like, but when you start getting yourself into that routine of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you can no longer stay up that late. Like, you just can't.
It forces you back.
I enjoy a TV show, but no joke, she kind of gets bothered by me now. And this has been a thing in every relationship that I've been in, dating back to high school. You put me on that couch, it doesn't matter what we put on.
You're out.
I'm just like, it's bad. But it's because my engine has been running all day.
Right. Dude.
You know, so I get that you want to watch that show, but I would also challenge you to like start to watch that show at dinner time and then force yourself into getting in bed a little bit earlier. Because you
what
can
about
use
football season?
What?
I love watching my football season.
Yeah, I mean,
we're East Coast, so it ends sometimes at 11:30.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I think it's different for every person. For me, I don't relate to like sports anymore. Like I don't, and it's crazy because I was Sunday football all day long. Like, I mean, we were in the bars doing all things. My life is just not that anymore, right? And I can't really relate to wanting to do that because the reality of my life now is I have to wake up tomorrow. So even if I want to enjoy my football Sunday, I still got to wake up at 5. So am I willing to sacrifice that? And I might do that once in a while, right? Like if I'm going to stay up to, like we have Super Bowl. Right. Super Bowl's coming up, right? So like we're going out to Queens, Katie's family. I'm sure it's going to be a late night. I'm already like, damn, like what time are we going to leave? Because I know I got to wake up in the morning. But it's a once in a blue thing. So I'm going to enjoy my wings. I'm going to watch the whole game. I'm going to get home late. And then I'm going to be tired on Monday.
Is that going to be a day off Monday?
No. But the best part that I'm looking forward to is how quickly I'm going to fall asleep Monday night, because that's going to get me back to my routine on Tuesday. You know what I mean? And then the other thing, to the person that you were talking about with the food, I do think if you walk into a store, healthy food is more expensive than non-healthy food. However, if you prepare your meals, it's not more expensive, right? You can go buy ground beef for a pack at BJ's for $15, and you're talking 4 pounds. 4 pounds will give you 10 meals if you want. But you have to take the time to cook it, right? And that's the thing that most people won't do. And they'll say, I don't have time. You don't have time because you don't want to make the time. But I truly believe that we make time for the things that we really want. And if I was talking to that same person and I said, yo, if you do this every day or 5 days a week for the next 2 years, you're going to put on 20 pounds of muscle. Would you do it?
Or lose weight.
Huh? Or lose weight. Right. Or lose weight. And the reality is that will happen, but you just don't know it for a fact because you don't trust your level of discipline.
Oh, you're speaking to me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know it will happen. Like, you know it will happen, but if I put $1 million behind it, you would absolutely do it. But you just don't trust yourself enough to do it and go through with it.
Oh my God, I hate going on all these tangents.
It's hard, bro.
I'm going to keep giving you another tangent.
It's hard.
I have this problem with my beautiful wife, Catherine, and she's amazing. She does more than I could ever ask a person to do for me. And when it comes to she preps. Yep. Like meals for us. And when she makes it delicious. And this is the thing where I get and this is on me. I'm the one that's at fault. I can get robotic and eat my ground beef every single day. And I can do that for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month, for 2 months, for 6 months. I've done it. Mm-hmm. I've prepped my own stuff and done my own thing. And I can do it. My wife doesn't like that. My wife likes variety, and she makes it taste way better than I taste. Like I said, I can get robotic. Mm-hmm. I don't. It's weird because I can eat the same thing, no matter what, just for fuel. If I know it's just for fuel, but I'm a foodie. I don't look like this just because just God gave it to me like this way. No, I like to eat too. So when things are good or delicious in front of me, we've been out there together. I love indulging, but so I struggle because she makes things taste so good. I want to eat. I want to overeat at times. And I fall away from my robotic persona that I can be, which ultimately can get me to a place of better eating for me, not even for anybody else. That's the other thing. When I eat the same exact thing, I don't overeat because it's the same thing. So it's not like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like I'm just literally consuming it for fuel and I just move on. So I'm not. But if you put me a nice plate of pasta or a nice little sandwich, it's like, oh my God, I'm never going to see this again, so I need to eat a little bit more.
Right.
Like, what do you tell my fat ass?
I mean, bro, like, I think you have your own formula.
Do I have to go back to robotic?
Yeah, bro. If that so works for you, I think you do, right? And now, so I'm the type
food
of
is
person.
good, though.
I'm the type of person. I'm kind of like you. Like, I gotta go, like, you know, I gotta go all in or kind of like all out type thing. I would put a goal on it. Like, yo, I'm eating this until I lose 25 pounds. That's it. Right, like this is gonna be
easy, said and done. What happens when we hit the goal and it's like, all right, well, I'm good now.
No, I got you, but so that's where you have to learn to slowly incorporate these other things. Where you say, okay, listen, Wednesday and Friday, I'm gonna have my bowl of pasta and have my ice cream. So you have something to like look forward to. But honestly, I would make it the gauntlet for the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or whatever. You already know, bro. If you started to do that, like your weight specifically would fall off of you like right away. So I think for you have to be that level of like a robot at the beginning, and then you have to entice yourself with strategic like implants of the thing to look forward to, right? And knowing like, yo, on Wednesday I could do this, but Monday, Tuesday I'm gonna eat this. Wednesday I have my treat here. Friday I have my treat here. Sunday I have my treat here.
Yeah, I hate to say it, man. I think I'm not a good example because I'm like that classic example of like, you let me taste it, then I'm going in.
But what do you mean? You can't do it, bro. Like
it's right. You just can't do it.
You can't do it. If I held a gun to your head, you're not gonna do it, right?
That's what I'm saying. So then there's no like, let's say we get there. There's no like, oh, let me get a little treat here and that's it, or a little treat here and there and that's it. But because me tasting it makes me want to go back.
I think this is the problem, though. Like you're over here debating that stuff down the line.
Well, I'm verbalizing.
No. But you know what I'm saying? Like you're putting thought, and we often put thought into things that aren't really reality. That right there, what you're doing, is what anxiety is. That anxiety is stress over the potential of what can or cannot happen. The potential. You're over here debating with me what you think you're going to do when that little treat comes back into your life. Do you hear what I said?
I did.
Right?
I did 100%.
Like you're telling me,
but I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I've seen.
What you've done in the past.
Proven, yeah.
Which is fine. That's done. Are you going to continue to identify as that person, or are you going to go lose the 25 pounds, be a robot until you hit that goal, and then we'll have a strategic conversation again. And then I'll give you that meal plan, and I'll implant specific things, and then I'll give you the tools that you need to not overeat at that time. But why are we focusing on that versus just saying, yo, for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to focus on losing 2 pounds a week?
It's official. I'm going to become a robot for the next 3 weeks.
There we go, baby.
But we're starting after the Super Bowl.
That's fine. Deal. I'm down. Send me your way. Bro,
That's the thing.
If you really want to, put the camera on.
No.
CV, if you really want to get this money,
didn't cut out.
If you really want to get this money, I'm telling you right now, I will be your accountability coach. You can weigh in and send me your scale every single day. And we'll check in every morning if you want it.
I do not need that from you.
See?
Thank you.
But this is what I'm talking about. You really don't want it because you're scared.
No, I don't want you.
Yeah,
I don't want
you know that you can accomplish it, but there's that little thing in us that's scared. This is such a good conversation, but now we gotta sign off.
We do.
But we're going on. That's dope though. I like that. Are you in?
Yes.
Let's go, baby. This is what I'm talking about, and that'll be part of our check-in. We're gonna check in.
Fuck.
Yep. You already know it's coming, baby.
I may cut this out.
Yeah, Listen, we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in, whether you listen to one episode or 258 with us, man. We're just so grateful. We ask that you continue to spread the word, spread the message, and if you haven't done so, come check out my latest book, 30 Lessons to Lead. It's a project that I'm extremely proud of, and I promise you, you will become a better leader at work, at home, and in the mirror if you apply those 30 lessons. All right. As always, you can shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. And until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after
and watch
it.
CV lose this weight, baby. Yeah. That's good. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's another epi in the books. You can follow us on Instagram at No Snooze Podcast and leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. Come on.